you lot had a night off while Sengo and Austaaaalian did all of the hard work, and the only job that you have left in the current set is the Mountain Tor gold mine, which you saw in your quest tracker. Yeah, you met him last week in the pub
as well,
and got him hammered. So when he wakes up the next morning, he's got a right storming hangover. Are you going that day? So you're getting a nice headache, are you? This is my friend, Don Jon Raskin, who carries 2 big Bowie knives. He's like, "G'day, mate. Had a few brewskis yesterday. Feeling a bit of the old Dicky Tommy today, though." Mountain Tor Gold Mine. It's northeast, skirting the foothills. It's only 15 miles from Foundland, so if you leave at dawn, you can be there before sunset.
Let's leave at dawn and we wouldn't be there before sunset.
Right, that's an excellent idea. He says, "Well, I'm used to travelling these hills by myself, mate, but I'll gladly let you tag along so I can regale you with my tales of my adventures." Shash and Sengo had been listening to him all night, and he's one of those guys who, if you stub your toe, he's had a leg chopped off and sewed it back on himself. If you see a snake, he's seen a crocodile. He's that kind of guy.
So he's like a Australian version of me.
Pretty much, yeah. So you set out on the morning with Don Jon, and it's a lazy walk along the path. It's quite a nice day, and you're not expecting any trouble as it's so close. As you approach the mine, a low ridge rises to your right, beyond which you see the Sword Mountains scrape the grey sky. Closer, something strewn across the rocky ground 90 feet ahead. "Well, ain't that something?" says Don Jon, pointing at what appear to be 6 dead orcs.
Oh.
Well, searching for treasure.
I want to pillage them,
Hang on. Are they definitely dead?
They're actually kind of wrapped statue-like, looking up to the sky, and their javelins and their great axes lie about them, and it looks as if they were like instantly killed by something up that way.
Right. So are they, I'm presuming they may be like ashen, like they've been reduced to carbon potentially. So shall we go and have a little poke at them and see if they fall to bits? So I'm poking it with a stick.
You poke it with a stick. It is weirdly desiccated. In fact, if in modern parlance, it looks like it was flash frozen and then it's slowly been left to thaw out. The outside's kind of squishy with a solid icy core.
Oh.
I look up into the sky.
You look into the sky, swooping down from the clouds, you see absolutely nothing. No, this looked like it happened some time ago. However, they started to defrost, but they haven't actually fully defrosted yet.
What kind of dragon was in the area?
It's a white dragon.
So a nice dragon. Well, if it's terrorising the orcs, I'm not complaining.
Several of the beasts have mentioned that the dragon has moved into the area within the last few weeks, and it's displaced all of the native wildlife, so that the manticore had to move its hunting grounds, and the orcs that you ran into at the ranch were apparently looking for a new place to fortify, that kind of thing.
It doesn't really matter though. I mean, I think the point is though, like, it's undiscerning, like, isn't it? Like, what attacks something? Like, if it's a native wild animal, they're not necessarily gonna, like, they're not discerning of what they're attacking. So if it be an orc or like other life form that attack it per se, wouldn't it? So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're only killing orcs.
Dragons are intelligent.
Yeah, but they're also aware of the fact that people kill dragons.
And I wouldn't be surprised if orcs would kill dragons if they got half a chance.
Exactly. So I think we still need to sort of like approach with extreme caution.
Right, well,
No, I agree with that.
you can collect the orcs' axes and javelins if you want, or just leave them on the ground.
Not got any money, like, on them.
No, they don't have any money on them. Weapons and armour and food, travel rations. They don't like carry tents and bedrolls and that kind of crap. They just sort of make a campsite wherever they happen to be.
A bivouac.
Yes.
Right, well, I'm going to take 4 javelins.
Can you give me some medicine checks, please? Look at these rolls. Right, the theme for Grey's Anatomy plays in the background, and it looks like they were killed about 3 days ago, but they're still kind of frozen in the middle, so they must have been really cold to take them 3 days to defrost.
There's a big outline around them on the ground where all the vegetation's been killed.
Yes. It's kind of slightly conical shape where it's come on in at an angle, but it's like a big 30-foot radius oval. Don Jon says, "Well, mate, as fun as this is, I guess there's nothing else we can do for the poor blatters unless you want to bury them, but they're only orcs."
Just carry on.
So you arrive at the location of the mine. In the side of the mountain, there's like a big semicircular outcropping, and he says, "The mine's in there somewhere. It's that sticky out bit, apparently. You can approach from straight on. You can approach from the east, or you can approach from the west.
Shall we just approach straight?
So you approach the edge of the mountainside. That's roughly the shape of the bulge. You can see there's trees left and right. Don Jon says, the entrance is got to be around here somewhere.
Can I track? See if anything I can pick up.
Certainly. No, you can't see any tracks.
Shouldn't there be some miners at this mine?
Well, there's supposed to be.
Yeah, but what I mean is it's daylight. Shouldn't we be able to hear, like, mining?
Like the sounds of industry.
Yeah,
That's the
mate,
one.
perception. Nobody hears anything.
It's too quiet, lads.
It's quiet.
I
It's
thought
too
that.
fucking quiet.
Let's just keep walking through and stay alert.
Why not just
Or
stealth?
do you want to
me?
sort of like, I was just about to say, like, do you want to stealth, or do we want to sort of like approach it? I'm guessing that this is the whole part of the entrance, so maybe we would sort of like take some cover at the tree line.
You head left along the side of the rock. You head left along the side of the rock, and you come through the trees. Hidden among the bushes, a tunnel burrows into the foot of the soaring snow-capped mountain. Above the mouth of the tunnel is a wooden plank with the words Mountain Tour carved into it.
So that's the entrance to the mine then, innit? So we'll just keep going that way.
A crudely cut but reinforced tunnel leads into the mine. There's no door or anything, and it's about 6 feet wide, so it doesn't look like it's the main entrance, maybe.
Now, I don't know a great deal about dragons, but they're normally bigger than this, wouldn't you say?
You stand looking at the entrance for a few minutes. Nothing moves. There's no sound of mining coming out of it or any sound of movement at all.
Are there any tracks around the entrance?
Yes, you see a lot of humanoid footprints around the outsides of the mine. Right, Andy, so you creep down to the door, yeah?
Yeah, sort of to there.
Yeah. The mine tunnel goes in for only a few feet and then turns to the south and then turns again, heading further off into the room.
I'll sort of wiggle my fingers at the lads. Do you want me to go and investigate a bit? Right. Well, I shall pull my short bow out and knock an arrow and then sneak to kind of there so I can pay around the corner a bit.
The tunnel opens into a larger cavern. You hear... you can come out. We can smell you.
Busted.
And you hear another voice go, "Yeah, come on out.
I shall step to there.
You smell like a gnome." Right.
Because I am a gnome. Do I have any idea what's talking to me?
The rooms are small. It looks like guard posts. 2 doors in the opposite side. 2 females step forward wearing leather armour, and they have belted short swords and carry hand crossbows.
Female what?
They are female humans. They've got pointed noses and buck teeth at the front. One of them says, "Yeah, you're in the mine of the Whisker Toes. What can I do for you? You here to do some dealing?"
We're looking for reptiles, actually.
"We ain't seen no reptiles in here." Don Jon steps forward and he says, "Well, I'm in charge of this new mine here, so you better take me to the supervisor." And she says, "No, you see, we took it over from the dwarves, so you can just run along now. Unless you've got some kind of offer for some trade, we don't want to know."
What you got and what do you need?
She looks about at the walls and like makes the, like, you know, you're a dummy kind of speaking slowly. "It's a mine. We sell gold and ore and tin."
Yeah, but you must need something in return for the gold and ore and tin.
She says, you just need to speak to the boss. I mean, we don't do the dealing, but we're here for guard duties. If you want to speak to the boss, then I can take you to her if you've got some dealings."
We've got the boss with us, haven't we?
"He ain't no boss, he's just a dwarf."
Hostile takeover.
Right, so like Sengo's losing patience, and he's just gonna sort of like walk down or like creep down towards them and say, "Look, Don Jon has the papers. He is the new overseer. You must let us past."
She says, No, see, it don't work like that now. We're out in the frontier. We got a stake in the mine now. If you got anything to say about it, I can take you to the boss, but she'll tell you the same thing.
I relay that message back to Don Jon. Can he hear this?
Yeah, he's standing right behind you. She rests her hand conspicuously on her short sword hilt, and she's like I said, if you ain't got nothing to trade, then you better get gone, you know what I mean?
Sengo's going to sort of like put hand on hilt of his morning star, and he's going to say, we are not here for trouble. We are simply here to do our job, which is to deliver Don Jon, the new overseer, to the mine.
She says, well, you delivered him here. We'll happily keep him. And she gives you this strange, beady-eyed grin. If I understand rightly, that's Don Jon there in the hat, and he's delivered here, so I don't think we got anything to talk about.
We've got to guarantee safety, really, haven't we?
She's standing cockily. She's looking at your axe. She goes, that's orc, mate, that is. And she says, hey, ain't you a bit tall for a drow?
I'm going to try and intimidate them.
Right, okay.
To let them, like, to force me way past.
Right.
Like, what can they do?
Are you going to try and
that's part of the mission?
Are you going to try and intimidate them, or are you going to try and forcefully push them out of the way?
I'm not going to do that. Intimidate first.
Right, okay. She says, what? She looks at the other one. She goes, look at this guy. He's puffing his chest out. He thinks I'm afraid of him. I'd like to nibble on your neck, sunshine. You notice that these two are not afraid in the slightest. Their body language is relaxed. They're kind of slouched. They're standing looking up at Sengo. They back up into the room. They go, come in the guard room. We all friends here.
Take us to your leader.
Yeah, we need to see the leader.
She says, see, I knew we could come to agreement. Like, there ain't no need to fight. This is our mine now. So she opens the door in the western wall, which opens to a small corridor, and as you step through, there's a big, what looks like a storeroom. There's a lot of sleeping cots in there. There's about a dozen crates and about 9 casks stacked in the middle of this cave. One of the casks is tapped and it's got like a tankard on top, and then you're led down this windy corridor to another door, which then finally opens into a large cavern. She walks through and she says, hey boss, we got some guys to see you. I think they're here to trade us for some food or what have you. So there's 2 tunnels leading out in the south. There's a large amount of detritus in the northern part of the room. Inside the northern part of the room, in amongst the large amount of trash, you see running in and out 5 giant rats the size of dogs.
Ugh.
In the room, you see another one of these young ladies, again with the very similar facial features and the buck teeth, but she's got her ears pierced in fancy earrings all the way around. She's got a nose ring in. She's also got much finer armour and like a sash around her waist to indicate that she's more important. And she says, well then, welcome to the Whiskers Mine. I want to make a deal with you.
What sort of deal?
Well, what did you come here to trade for?
We are not on a trading mission. We have delivered Don Jon, the new owner of the mine. Overseer.
She says, see, now that ain't going to fly with me because, like, this is my mine now. So you've moved into the room. This one's standing here. Can you all shuffle into the room where you would be? And then there's one at the back.
I'll ask the leader, what would you be willing to trade this mine?
What, this mine? This mine what I own, all legal like. Give me a persuasion check. 11. She leans in all conspiratorially towards you. Says, you pointy ears, now you are like. I tell you what I'm going to do. We only come here to take this mine over because there's a bunch of orcs what took over the Shrinest Severus. That's where we used to live. You guys get rid of them orcs, and we'll go back to where we used to come from.
We need to talk to Don Jon and see like this will mean a heftier fee, because the original job was just to bring him to the mine. He's at the mine.
Oh, I ain't paying the fee, mate. That's contracted by the mining company. I mean, obviously, I can contact them to ask if they can increase your remuneration, but that's out of my hands. He says,
What?
Some extra hazard pay.
He says, I'm almost certain that the company will come up with some extra cash for you, guys.
What did they call themselves, these lasses?
The Whisker Gang. and to talk with a bad Brooklyn accent.
So I'll ask the leader. That's a strange name. How do you came by that?
The Whisker Gang, it's just the name of our clan. And she smiles a big buck-tooth smile at you.
I asked you could mark this shrine on my map.
The Shrine of Severus, yeah. I'd be happy to. Happy to.
And how many orcs are we talking?
She says, well, there were like a dozen orcs there. I mean, you know, orcs, there's always a lot of them.
A dozen? A dozen? That's before coffee break for us.
She goes, look at the size of this guy. He can take a dozen orcs before he has his first bagel.
To be fair, the mining company, I've just read the contract there, and it says once Raskin has taken charge of the mine to get the money, so I kind of see us getting more money, so we might as well just do the job, eh?
She says, let me have a look at this map, what you got here.
Well, on the other hand, he's at the mine. If he wants to then take charge of it, that's his lookout.
Yeah, but if he doesn't take charge of it successfully, then we don't get paid.
Money's not everything.
You're such heroes, aren't you? You're like, how much is this? Bracey, do you have anything to add to this conversation? This conversation? We're just talking here. Yeah, we're just talking here.
I'm just very slowly putting my hand on my staff, ready to cast Shillelagh.
Right, the shrine is marked with a X on the player map when I draw it on. Yeah, it's just to the south of Cornybury. She says, your map ain't right. There's a trail what leads south from Cornybury, and it'll lead you straight to it. It's up the hill. It used to be an old abbey. There's a church with a courtyard around it, and there's a big bell tower.
Let's go and kill us some orcs party.
Sounds like a plan.
Or we just kill these people.
I'll ask the leader flirtatiously, will you be okay? Will you young ladies be okay by yourself?
She says, we can take care of ourselves. We're part of the family, you know what I mean?
Where's the dwarfs that were in the mine?
She said, they weren't here when we got here. That ain't nothing to do with us.
All right, we need some guarantees that they'll leave. So, like, can we take a member of the gang with us? And then
An
once we've cleared the area,
observer who can have a look to make sure that their old place is now free of orcs.
I tell you what, make a persuasion check then.
There you go, nice one.
Oh, 19.
Good
She
roll.
says, yeah, that seems fair. I'll get one of my girls to go with you.
Which one?
We got Sophie here, and we got Stephanie here. Which one do you like?
The one that doesn't snake up behind folk.
That's Sophie. She always sneaking up behind folk. Said her old man, that was Hatchet Johnson. That's where she get that habit from.
Nah, she looks the type.
Right, so we'll need to talk to Don Jon and see if he wants to come on this adventure because it's quite dangerous, or whether he wants to stay with the Whiskers.
Or whether he wants to go back to town.
Well, Don Jon doesn't mind coming with you or going back to town, but he does not want to stay here. It's like, these girls give me the crepes. Put the willies right at me.
Right, well, come with us. We're going to head out.
The north door opens and you get to see a very short section of tunnel. And then there's a male guy walks through. He's similarly equipped in leather with short sword and hand crossbows. It seems to be, remember? And he goes, I can see you're busy, okay? I'll talk to you later. And he shuts the door again and walks off.
Where's
Right
that
then.
shifty-looking bugger?
Says, he's just one of the Whiskers. That's Knuckles. Don't worry about Knuckles. He's a good guy. He does what he's told for the family.
Let's get to this shrine.
What's our party? Like, interested party?
Interested
huddle.
party, huddle, yeah.
So we're just going to go at the other room, pet. And we'll all go up next to where, like, the bunk beds
So you
and
do
that are.
interested party huddle. Let me just show you what that looks like. There you go. That's what interested.
Yes.
That's what interested party huddle looks like. Don Jon's like on the outside trying to look over the top.
Like, lifting up on his tiptoes to try and get in. It's like, hey, you guys, let me in, part of the conversation. Right. So, are we going to just kill these bitches and clear out the mine? Or are we going to take out the orcs? Because I've got a strong feeling that we might have to do both anyway.
Let's go and get rid of these orcs.
Yeah, because if we go and get rid of the orcs, it means that we can leave here, and then when we come back, we can bring a fucking mountain lion with us, because they don't like rats.
Right then, Bracy.
I said we just kill them all.
Against me better judgment, I'm going to say we go I'm going to agree with Sash and Andy.
You're going to head back out and then walk. You're going to have to camp out overnight. So you grab Sophie. She goes over and speaks to thing. The voices drop, so they're sort of like whispering. And then she's...
Can I hear what they say?
You can have a roll, Dave. Go on, give us a perception roll. It's good. Right, you hear us here. Sophie, when you get to the shrine, see if you can find scope out where the hidden treasure is. And then we can get it when we go back. And Sophie says, yeah, I'll do that for you. And then she says, right, Sophie, go and get some travelling rations. Sophie disappears off into a room, comes back with a backpack with things like that. She smiles sweetly and flutters her eyebrows and says, lead on then, guys. We got some orcs to kill, yeah?
Yes.
You hike up to the Trebor Trail.
Who was cocking the lugs again, Shash?
Yes.
Well,
Shash, are you going to tell us what you overheard?
Yes, once I think she's out of hearing distance from us.
Yeah. Well, you basically, you wander backwards and forwards to the party so that, you always cycle somebody to the back so you can have a quiet word with them so you can do it so she can't hear. So what do you say to the party?
Basically, there's hidden treasure in this shrine. They want to get it if we clear it out.
Right.
If we clear it.
So we need to have someone watching that, and I think that someone should be and could be the only one who's not really useful in this party, Don Jon. But we don't tell him why he should be watching her.
I don't think they know where the treasure is, though.
Yeah,
Well, I don't think
exactly.
they've come from there.
Or they would have taken it.
Well, we should sort of like, as we walk along, I'm going to sort of like pull it to one side and say, like, look, this could get messy. You will be called upon to fight. Can we trust on your sword?
She said, look at my face. They always call me the trustworthy one.
Right,
she smiles sweetly at you.
That makes me instantly distrust her.
I'll have the dawn watch and I'll wake them all up with the bagpipes.
You're rudely awakened as Andy wakes you up. Sophie's quite happy. She says, it's a shame we ain't got no bacon. I only got the iron rations. She pulls her rations out. Normally you notice like normal rations are like bread and cheese, maybe a bit of meat if you're lucky, but hers hasn't got any cheese in it.
Well, that's all right. I'll offer her a bit of my cheese.
She says, I can't do that. It gives me a dicky tummy. You know what I mean?
What, makes you fart?
She said, lady doesn't fart. We breaks the wind, you know? She says, now if you had a bit of peanut butter.
You think I use peanut butter for his mousetraps?
Oh, flirty. Nice. You reach Cunnybury without incident. You go around the back of one of the big houses and there's a trail that does lead south, but it's little more than a dirt track and it heads off across the fields towards the foothills.